Morning, everyone. Welcome you all to the JCE Connect series of online lectures. We are studying the subject Construction, Economics and Finance, and we are into, good morning. We are into module 1. So, in today's class, we will be discussing about financial management. So, going through the previous classes, we have discussed the definition of economics, we have definition of finances discussed, its scope is discussed. We had a discussion about microeconomics and microeconomics also, where your participation was very nice. So, coming to the next concept in today's class, we will be discussing about financial management. Able to view the first slide, financial management?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because I am facing a network issue. Yeah, you're able to view. Okay, fine. Yeah, fine.
I am not able to see.
Financial management. How we can define? Yeah. Ravina, able to see?
It's now visible.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah. So, financial management. Financial management is a managerial activity which is concerned with planning, allocation, forecasting, organizing, directing, coordinating, and controlling all the financial activities of a company. Financial management is essential as it controls the financial operations of a company. Now, financial management, this is a big term or a heavy term, because in the definition itself, it covers planning, it covers allocation, it covers forecasting, it covers organizing, directing, coordinating, and controlling. So financial management overall is a, you want one big tough guy, financial manager. Anyone cannot get up and say I can manage finances, because now when we are students or in our day-to-day life also, when we are many times staying away from home, it is the first week in which we get the money from home. First 2 weeks go very nicely, but the third week we start feeling the pinch, cash drains off. Okay, we don't have much money to spend. Next month again, first week money comes and picture is same. Now why it happens regularly, especially in student days, or say many times in our regular days also it happens. When we get the salaries, first 2 weeks are like a king, then the level goes on changing. Why this happens? We are not financially educated. Okay, the financial education aspect in our overall curriculum is missing. We are never taught to manage finances. Only those people who all take commerce line, or who go for chartered accountancy, or say company secretary course, or do MBA finance, those all people will be exposed to this financial things or financial management. But we as civil engineers, who are the core developers and the builders of this society, we very much lag in financial management. Now, what we will do is, we will try to understand this definition from civil engineering point of view. It's a managerial activity concerned with planning. Now, this one word, planning, is it related with civil engineering? Yes or no? What you all feel?
Yes.
Does the
Yes, sir.
planning mean
Yes,
civil
sir.
engineering?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. Where, like, what you can say, what planning you will think of, either that is say architectural plan, structural plan, or planning of activities on the site can come in planning. The next term, allocation. Is it associated with civil engineering? Allocation?
Yes,
What you
sir.
feel?
Yes, sir. Allocation of
Yes, sir.
materials.
Yeah. Yeah, allocation of materials and resources, very much important. Third term is forecasting. Again, is it associated?
Yes, sir.
Is
Yes,
forecasting
sir.
associated with our civil engineering? Yes, forecasting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, correct. Because, right, Shabaz, when you're doing an extensive survey, I think we have done this population forecasting when we designed the water supply line for a village or a river line.
Yes, sir.
Right. So population forecasting is also very important. For market forecasting is also very important. And nowadays, weather forecasting also is very important, because last 2-3 days, some part of Karnataka and Maharashtra, Kerala have experienced heavy amount of rain. This much rain is never there in this season. In spite of lockdown, some works are going on, but those works got disturbed. That is forecasting. So as Right Sabha said, Forecasting can be something about population forecasting, or say market forecasting or weather forecasting, which all again affects your financial management. Then organizing, yes, it is a core part of civil engineering, because if you don't have organizing skills as a construction manager, you cannot go ahead with your works. Then directing and coordinating, again an important part
Yes,
of
sir.
civil engineering, directing and coordinating.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and controlling. Yeah. Now, why as a civil engineer, further as a construction technology expert, we should study financial management? Why it is there as a part of our syllabus? So when we go to the definition, each and every word of the definition of financial management is associated with our civil engineering work. Hence, if you want to be a construction manager, you got to be a good financial manager also. If anyone wants to add any points to it, they're welcome. Anyone wants to put up any points regarding controlling, coordinating? Vivek, please off the mic.
Sir, I'll just disconnect and connect once again, so you're not audible to me.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you'll enter directly. Yeah, fine, no issues. So next, financial management is essential as it controls the financial operations of a company. Financial management is very much essential because we all saw the definition just now. Okay, we will not repeat it. Just recall the terms come into civil engineering activities. Your definition of financial management will be ready, because each and every activity you need to pump in or put in the funds. So financial management becomes very much essential for controlling the financial operations of a company. Now there are two things in financial management. One is procurement of funds. Second is utilization of fund. So both terms will have very relevance and important with respect to your construction. One is procurement of fund. Procurement of funds means from where, how you'll get the funds. Utilization of fund means how will you use the funds and when will you use the funds. So let us see procurement of funds. In this aspect, the knowledge of following points is important. Existing financial condition of the company. We should know the existing financial condition of the company. Secondly, we should know our budget, because every company will have its own budget. Depending on that, they can go ahead with the projects. Even if you are hardworking or even if anything is there, budget becomes a constraint for selecting a project. Okay, so that's why we have various grades of contractors. When we generally go for contracting, government contracting, we have class A, class B, class C contractors. Based on the total amount of work done in rupees, you will be getting an higher and higher grade. So that's what budget becomes very important for a financial manager. Then third is sources of finance. Now what do you mean by sources of finance? Again, this is there in the syllabus. Sources of finance is a very nice concept. Anyone can pick it up for your seminar topic also. So sources of finance is really a beautiful concept in finance. So from where, how we can get the finance, how we can get the finance. Now if small works are there, company finance it's on your own. Now contractors, regular contractors who are working here in the field, they put their own money and get their own profits. But when you move to higher projects, it is not that you can put 500 crores, 1000 crores. That time you require some sources of finance. So again, it is a very much key aspect of your financial management. So two things. One is procurement of funds. Second is utilization of funds. So in procurements of funds, what we want to know, existing financial conditions of the company. We want to know the budget. Thirdly, we want to know the sources of finance. Then moving ahead, utilization of the funds. Distribution of funds is important. Managing contingency funds is important. And managing a balance for utilization in case if the scope of the project varies or changes is important. Now this is again closely related with the civil engineering field. Now let us take an example. Okay, so all of you present here know an activity casting of a slab. Shabas?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Hello?
I'm taking an activity casting of a slab. Hello, Shabaz,
Yes.
सुनाई दे रहा है?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yeah, I'm taking an activity. Yeah, I'm taking activity casting of an slab. Okay. So
Yes,
now
yes, sir.
what I want is how these two concepts, say especially utilization of the funds, will play and role in an activity, which is that activity casting of slab we will discuss. Okay. So anyone wants to put some points? Casting of slab. All of you have seen a RCC slab being casted, right? So what I want is, let us discuss this concept of utilization of funds with a small example, that is casting of slab. First point is distribution of funds. So in the activity casting of a slab, where all you'll require funds?
For
Go ahead
formwork,
with your answers,
concrete.
any one of you?
Sir, for formwork,
Yeah,
concrete,
start from first thing.
labors
Start from first
required.
thing. All. Yeah,
Sir, first
yeah.
basically
Firstly,
material को fund
you'll have
चाहिए.
to pay for a structure. Yeah, material को fund चाहिए. Correct. So we'll go step by step. Firstly, we have to pay to a structural engineer because he'll release the drawings. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then next, we have to estimate the quantity of the material, right? As Shabazz said, we want to know how much material is required. So for that, we require some funds. Then as Apurva, you said, we required the shuttering work and all to be done. For that, we want funds. Then we generally basically have which material? We have cement, we have aggregates, coarse and fine aggregates, we have sand, and we have water. So then what happens? Comes in labors. Labors are required for initially making that bar bending work, then placing it, then further while casting of the slab we require the labors. So this is what is distribution of funds. So if you become a small contractor, you start contracting at this time also, it is very nice. You have a slab, you are tell the owner that next week I have casting of the slab, please release some funds. He'll release the funds, he'll give it to you. Then it becomes your task of distributing the funds. You have to distribute the funds for materials, you have to distribute the funds for labors. Okay, you have to distribute the funds for water. If water is not available, you have to get the tankers. For transportation, you
Machines.
have to distribute the funds. Okay, that is, yeah, machines, everything. Yeah, machines, labors, that happens. So that is what is distribution of funds. I took a very small example so that you can understand what do you mean by distribution of funds. Similarly, when you're managing your home, once you get the money, okay, we keep some part for rent, some part for electricity bill, some part for our ration, some part for other things. Okay, that is what is distribution of funds. So in civil engineering, this distribution of funds becomes very, very important. Then next is managing contingency funds. What do you mean by that? Contingency is a situation which is not predicted. It suddenly comes. Okay, and what happens is if we don't have some funds for your emergencies, now currently we are facing a pandemic where there is a lockdown, many works are shut down. So even some good industries, what they say is even if the works are not happening, let's pay our laborers because they are a part of our microeconomics and they cannot survive without us. But now production is not happening. When production is not happening, profits are not there. Then from where they'll manage the wages? They'll manage the wages from contingency fund. So contingency fund is that reserve money which you will use during emergency. Now, as I'm talking about an example of casting of a slab, what emergency can happen? What do you think? What emergency situation can happen? Don't go for accidents only. Accidents are an emergency fund. But what do you think? What can happen? Where you might require contingency funds in the civil engineering activity casting of a slab. Anyone can tell?
For additional
Anyone?
material.
Contingency fund part. Yeah, additional material. Very good. So if our estimates are done by a rookie engineer who doesn't have exact idea, or say the materials gets wasted and we require some emergency material, and already material is purchased, then at that time we cannot stop the work as material is not there. So what we have to do? Use this contingency funds. Secondly, the equipment can get damaged. So generally it happens with the vibrator needles which we use for compaction on site. The equipment gets damaged. So we cannot say that the equipment is damaged and will not do vibrating. We have to do compaction, and manual compaction will not yield that result. So that time what we have to do, either repair the material or replace or do some adjustments. Again, for such things we require some funds called as contingency funds. And thirdly, the thing which should not ever happen on anyone's side, that is some accident. A labor gets injured, a labor gets hurt. Okay, his hospitalization and other things might we have to do it as a part of our job. So that time, what which funds will come into picture? Contingency funds. So contingency funds also are very important. So with as you go into projects, as you go on doing projects, as you study the previous project reports, you'll get an idea how to manage the contingency funds. And third thing is maintaining a fund balance for utilization in case of the scope of the project varies or changes. This basically at smaller level happens in renovation works. Okay, we all are very much excited and this thing about that renovation parts, or say what we call interior decorations, breaking the existing thing and making up something. Okay, that's many times a funda or a fad. Hmm. Because initially a structure is constructed and we are happy in breaking something and again making something. So in such cases, what happens is the scope of the project changes or varies. That time you require funds. And civil engineering is such a work that you cannot exactly estimate the required cost. Estimation is always an approximate value because the material rates are changing, and sometimes you require extra materials, some materials get wasted. So what happens is always with respect to the scope of the project, there are chances that there might be some change in the scope of the project. So you should have to maintain some balance of the funds for utilization in such cases, because if the scope changes or if the things vary, again if you demand it to the finance section, you'll have to give a detailed explanation, then procure the funds, which might cause a loss of time. And always in economics, time is money. So we cannot do that. So that is what is utilization of the funds. So guys, here there are two important concepts. One is procurement of funds and second is utilization of the funds. So with this, you should be able to analyze the situation and distribute how the things are to be done. I'm giving you all an overview. Okay. So now this is the first part of today's lecture where we tried to study two important concepts or key concepts of your financial management, that is procurement of funds and utilization of the funds. Expect this question in your internals and mostly in the finals also. What is financial management? Explain the key elements of financial management. Don't worry, I'll give you all a list of questions as soon as the module gets over. The next comes objectives of financial management. These are very, very important. One is, once now we have learned what is financial management, what we should do in financial management, we have learned it. Next, when we do it, what objectives we should achieve. One is profit maximization. Second concept is wealth maximization. So explanation is there further. As per you, any one of you will like to put up any points in this? Prasad, if you are there, what do you mean by profit maximization? Any brief or rough idea what you feel you can express?
The profit maximization.
Means what? What you think? What is profit maximization?
So if we have anything like machineries, if you are the contractors,
Okay.
if we have machineries, there will be profit for us because the transportation charge will be less.
Okay, so you're saying that if you have your own vehicles or own machineries, you can earn more profit as because you need not pay for transportation, right? Prasad,
Yes.
don't worry,
Yes,
just express yourself, whatever you feel, and it is not that you should be in exact classical English. You can go ahead with your Hindi also or something. Only the thing is that we should know the concept is important. Okay. Anyone
Yes.
else? Naveen, anything you want to tell? Vinay, Naveen, anyone?
To know the optimum levels of the profit.
Okay, fine. You should know the optimum
Sir,
levels of profit. Yes, good,
sir, we can
fine.
negotiate
Yes.
with the material pricing.
Oh,
Uh,
great. You start
which,
good. You'll be a nice
which,
contractor. So you want to
which,
purchase the material at the least price so that your profit is more.
more.
Yeah. Hmm. And don't worry, and if you don't want to
So,
answer, it is fine. Yeah, Neha, go ahead. Neha, I can go ahead.
so profit focuses on the short-term earnings, while if we consider the wealth, it will be considered for the business entity, like
Oh,
overall
great.
value.
Very nice answer. Yeah, nice, correct. Wealth management, you club both, really nice. Profit is a project oriented, whereas the wealth can be company oriented. Correct. Very nice. Any one of you wants to
There
tell
are
something?
So
planning,
whatever, sir.
management.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Apurva. Next,
There
Shabazz can speak.
are there are planning, management, or any selection or whatever decision we take in our project should be such that it
Yeah.
should yield maximum profit from
Oh,
any
very good.
even from the small
Yeah,
part or from the large
thing
part,
also.
both should have
But
maximum profit.
yeah, correct. Very nice. Fine. Yes, Shabazz.
So whatever selling of goods and services, and
Oh,
after all
nice.
they have uh, सर वो सब बेचने के बाद जो प्रॉफिट मिलता है ना सर उसे प्रॉफिट
हाँ
मैक्सिमाइजेशन अकॉर्डिंग टू मी.
हाँ, प्रॉफिट इज प्रॉफिट, right? Whatever we earn extra, maximization is वो कैसे बढ़ाना है.
हाँ
Okay. So as per your thing, whatever we sell or whatever it is, we should sell the things such that we have to get maximum profit. Right? So good. So we all have an idea of profit because business, we have to run a business for making profit. It is as simple as that. The next is wealth management. Now, as Neha rightly said, wealth is a bigger aspect. Profit will be related to a project. Okay, we have to earn the profit. Now, wealth maximization is the overall growth of everyone in the company. Or say as a company, we are purchasing a land. So it is wealth maximization. It is not profit. As a company, I am going to a new office. That is wealth maximization. As a company, I am purchasing new equipment. I'm purchasing new software. So that is wealth maximization. And do you think profit and wealth maximization are related to each other? Yes, any one of you?
Yes,
Do you
sir.
think profit? Uh,
Yes, sir.
yeah. What
Yes,
happens?
sir.
What should happen first? What should happen first?
Sir, first we have to take, we should concentrate on wealth, sir. And if we concentrate on wealth, it will automatically give us long-term profit,
Uh,
sir.
now this is the
For
question. Like it
example,
is.
if we are taking wealth as land, and if
Yeah.
we utilize that land for agriculture, so it will give us profit for a
Okay.
long term.
Okay.
So in that
Fine.
term.
Nice. Anyone has a reverse idea? Apurva went from wealth to profit. Anyone can come from profit to wealth?
Reverse also can be whatever profit we earn
Yeah,
from our work,
Apurva.
from
Let
that we
someone
can
else.
take
Yeah,
wealth.
yeah. Let someone else put their ideas. Anyone else? Apurva, you're correct very much. Yeah, Vinay.
Sir, wealth is the business oriented, sir. It increases
Okay.
stakeholders.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, correct.
but
Hmm.
uh,
So here, anyone else? Ramkrishna, you there? Ramkrishna, if you want to put up anything from your side, anyone else? Yeah, fine. So as Apurva said, that concept also can work. Or if you are a new firm, if you don't have much of a finances, so initially you can concentrate on profit maximization, and a part of your profit you can use in for wealth maximization. On the other hand, if you have sufficient money, you can invest in wealth maximization, and as Apurva exactly said, wealth maximization can be further converted into profit maximization. So these both terms, you can say, they go hand in hand. So sometimes profit maximization, जो excess profit हमको मिल रहा है, what we are getting excess profit, invest in the new technology and maximize the wealth. Again, in turn, it will increase your profit. Or if you have enough sufficient finances, increase the wealth, machine purchased will yield you more profit. So both terms are very important and they'll go hand in hand. So profit maximization. The main aim of any kind of economic activity is making profit, and a construction industry also keeps an aim of profit making. So anyone doesn't do business on charity. Okay. They do business, they earn profit and then they do charity. Okay. Understand the terms. They do business, they earn profit and then they do charity. No one does a business on charity and then wants to earn profit. That doesn't happen in finance and economics. So firstly, your aim when you come up with a company should be profit making. Now, profit is the measuring technique to understand business efficiency. So we say, now we have an best example of two brothers, Ambani brothers, who started at the same point when the property distribution happens, the things were distributed. One we have Anil Ambani, one we have Mukesh Ambani. Where is Anil Ambani? If you are currently in touch with finances, you will be knowing. And where is Mukesh Ambani? Entire world knows. So that is how we judge or we measure the business efficiency. Fine, even if your business is small, that business can be very good if it is making you all a good profit. If you have a huge business investment, but if it is moving in loss, it's of no use. So profit is a measuring tool or a technique by which you can understand the efficiency of the business. Profit maximization is also the traditional and a narrow approach to measure success of a business. So now here I have used two words. Profit maximization is an traditional. Generally, the company which gains more and more profit. Now some of you all might be following the share market also. They will understand these things in a nice way. Profit maximization. So in traditionally what we say is if our profit is more, our company is good. And it's a narrow approach also. But what is because that in today's world, now if we take two names, one is say Tata and one is say Ambani. Both are crorepati's, they have huge money, but one is a businessman, one is the industrialist. This definition was given by Tata himself. Ambani is a businessman and industrialist. So the traditional approach says higher the profit, better you are. But in today's world, what has happened is an industrialist or an businessman carries social responsibility also. The more social work he does, the more things he does to the society also, that also is counted on the business reputation. So it is not only the profit maximization, so only I've used the word narrow approach. It was an previous approach that if you're earning more profit, you're better. No, today if you're earning more profit and if you're giving that much to the society also, then you're a better industrialist or better businessman. For your kind information, I'd like to tell you all one thing. Just check out the donations made by various industrialists. Highest is not by Tata's, not by Ambani's, it is by Azim Premji. Okay, just check it after the class. Just go and check the donations made for social causes by Indian businessmen. It is by the Wipro owner. Okay, Azim Premji. So that makes profit maximization definition has changed with time, and hope you all agree to it. And further, when you become big businessmen or big entrepreneurs, which I know you will be one day, surely, because all of you have those qualities, you will also be on that track. Now, there are some negative things by which we can achieve profit maximization. As we know in civil industry, many wrong things are done. What we use inferior materials. Why? We want to maximize the profit. We cut short the work. We don't finish the work properly. So those are all negative things of profit maximization. So that's what is the term. Don't imagine profit maximization as the only tool for success. Many times we do these things in civil engineering work because we say we have to do it, otherwise we'll not get more money. So sometimes it is not about only money what you get, but it is sometimes about the society also. Then many ways it happens that wages are reduced. Okay, even if the owner has a lot of profit with him, they are cutting the salaries, they're reducing the wages. Okay, and they add up to their profit. They use the word cost cutting or cost management, and they cut the salaries and the wages of the employees. But you should have an understanding that today what profits are earned, that is because of your employees also. So sometimes what happens is if you have too much of a profit maximization approach, it can lead into negative things. Then next is wealth maximization. Wealth maximization is one of the modern approaches which involves latest innovations and improvements in the field of business concern. Now, this innovation and improvements currently going trend. Okay, what trend is currently going on in some other industry, not exactly civil industry? Anyone can relate this word? Innovation. Latest innovation. Where is latest innovation happening at this moment when we are suffering through corona?
So vaccines.
Yeah, vaccines, exactly. In the field of vaccination, that is our medical research field or pharmaceutical lines, when we say the innovation is happening at a rapid rate because a new challenge has come up. And for that innovation, you'll get new ideas. Then further, if that idea clicks, it becomes a patent. And that patent is the wealth maximization for a company. So understand, always your wealth maximization is going ahead with innovations, trying new things, and bringing about improvements in your field. So for example, when you're operating in a civil engineering field, we are moving from traditional materials to more sustainable materials, to lightweight materials. That is what is wealth maximization, because that idea becomes a concept and concept becomes a source of wealth in future. So always remember, without innovations and without improvement, wealth management cannot be achieved. So Neha, you rightly said that currently all the pharmaceutical companies are running behind the vaccines, because that is the source of now wealth maximization. Of course, it is a welfare of the society. They are doing a tremendous job or a big jobs. Now hospitals are earning because now patients are being admitted. Yes, all the hospitals don't just work for money, but why they are able to do it? Because they have the existing infrastructure with them. Means their profit, they have put in wealth, they have got the best infrastructure. So those hospitals are preferred by the patients because they know that even if we pay the money, we'll get a better service. So here are the concepts of profit maximization and wealth maximization. So if you're a civil engineer, you have a small company, you have good equipment, you have good materials. If you automatically profit maximization and wealth maximization happens. Now many times it happens that in a contract they mention that you have to use MSP or Primavera for planning, and a company doesn't have MSP or Primavera because they are working on Excel sheets for so many years. Then suddenly what happens? They have to go through that, purchase that software, go ahead with the training and all, because initially they did not realize that from the profit which they had, let us convert it into a wealth by purchasing a new software, get our employees trained so that tomorrow we might get an opportunity. So the word forecasting was there. So it becomes important here in wealth management. The term wealth means shareholders' wealth or the wealth of people who are involved in the business. Wealth maximization is also known as value maximization or net present worth. Now this net present worth again is a big concept of economics which we have as a part of syllabus, which will be covered in the module further. This objective is universally accepted in all business fields. So wealth maximization. So if you want to grow up, first thing is have profits. Second thing is have wealth. Now some of them are blessed, already they have wealth and then they can make profit by it. But say if we are starting from a zero level, always it's better to first concentrate on profit maximization, earn some profits, create your wealth and increase the profits. So this is what are the concepts of profit maximization and wealth maximization. Now, the last aspect of today's class, that is scope of financial management. Again, this is an important question because the scope of financial management will be asked for 10 marks. There are 5 points. Each point will be carrying 2 marks. So financial management covers wide area with multi-dimensional approach. Now see the word multi-dimensional. Now this construction management is such a field that you cannot be single one-dimensional person. You are not going to a particular office, sitting, coming back. You have to be dimensional. You should have an idea of markets. You should have an idea of execution. You should have an idea of sales, purchase, and many other things. So finance management as a part of construction technology demands a multi-dimensional approach. The following are the important scopes of finance management. Now, in this scope, we relate financial management with each and every term which is involved in the industry or the business. That is financial management and economics, financial management and accounting, financial management and production, financial management and marketing, financial management and human resource. So again, each and every point of this is a job opportunity for you all. So as a construction technology expert, you can go in economics section. Financial management expert, again through construction technology, you can go into construction accounting. You can go in production. Now production deals with the industries which are manufacturing civil engineering materials. Okay, we have big cement companies and various materials are coming up. So that production unit also requires civil engineers. It requires testing and all those things. You have an opportunity there. Then next is marketing. We all feel marketing is not related with us, but no. Okay, marketing is also closely related with civil engineering. And again, it comes from financial management, has a role to play in marketing. And last is human resource management. So these 5 are the scopes of your financial management. Now, if the question is asked for 5 marks, just listing the points will be sufficient. But generally at your PG level, no question is asked for 5 marks. Generally the questions come for 10 marks. So when you are going ahead with this, you should have like four lines, four lines for each point you have to write, so that it will count for 2 marks each, and your answer will yield you 10 marks. So financial management and economics. Now this we have studied already. Economic concepts like micro and macroeconomics are directly applied to financial management. Yes, without financial management, we cannot have our economic system. Investment decisions are closely associated with the functions of financial management manager. Financial management also uses economic equations like money, value discount factors, economic order quantity, etc. So financial management becomes a very key part of economics. So it has its scope in economics. So this is one more interesting and additional line which opens up for your career, because we never thought ourselves that we can be a financial manager or in these finance lines without doing MBA finance. No, that is not the thing. You being civil engineers, already you are very efficient, and learning some courses like this construction economics and finance and adding up some other things which are outside the syllabus, you can easily enter into a good posh office job in the financial section. Next is accounting. What is accounts? Accounts is keeping track of money. A single rupee going out of the company, a single rupee coming into the company. The track is kept by no one else than an account section. So financial management is clearly related to your account section. Now, where civil engineering comes here? Yes, you are on the site. You have purchased the materials. That is, you have done a financial management thing. You got to report it to the accounting section with the bills. You have traveled for a meeting. You have stayed in a hotel. You have spent some company's money. You come back. What you have to do? You have to report it to the accounting department. You need certain emergency funds. From where you will get the approval? You will get the approval through accounts section. So financial management again is very closely related with the accounting section. That's why I mentioned the word here in the second point. Accounting is the backbone for taking any financial decisions. Your account section says that company doesn't have funds, and you say I'm going to buy a JCB. I require it. You give a quotation to buy JCB. No, it cannot be approved, because before it goes to the further authorities, account section has to approve it. Account section says for this financial year, the funds which we had allocated for purchase of new equipments are over. You say I want that machine because I have to use it. Then you will be questioned saying that when it was asked to you in the scope, you have not mentioned it, and now suddenly you are demanding money. Why? What's the reason? And there it will highlight that you don't have a forecasting view. Okay, so always remember, accounts section is very dangerous, because whenever you demand something from accounts, they want some explanation. Okay, so you as a financial manager, or you as a site in charge, or you as an construction manager, project manager, you have to closely work with this finance account section. So be good in this financial management things. Account plays a key role in microeconomics. Yes, day-to-day activities happening in the office, right from getting the stationery, right from getting a cup of tea, everything will be managed by account section. Okay, we have one particular part in that account section, which we call it as admin, administrator or admin section. For example, we have that in our college also, Colonel Sir is the admin. He manages all those things. He will be closely related with the account section. So account plays a key role in microeconomics. Microeconomics means a smaller economics running an office. For that, account section plays a very important role. So hope you're getting up or picking up some important points which will help you all further in the career. The next is financial management and production. Yes, of course. Production is the one which will earn you the profits. If you have a company and company doesn't do any production only. Now, production means not only manufacturing of goods. If you are a road contractor, if you have developed a road, it's nothing but a production. If you are a building contractor, you have developed a building, it is nothing but a production. So always production is the one which gives you money and which gives you profit. But for production, you require operations to perform, which again comes under financial management. So if you are into site is nothing but a production unit for a civil industry. So again, you have to have good knowledge of financial management, because if the production is not there, what happens? Your profits lower. Now currently what is happening because of Corona and because of the shutdowns and the lockdowns, what has happened? Production in every field has lowered, or in some fields absolutely it is zero. You have all other sections working. But if production is not there, your finances will never rise up. So it consists of many things such as raw materials, machineries, wages, operations. So production is huge thing. If you are a part of an RMC plant, procurement comes, everything comes. So there you are producing the RMC, ready-made concrete. If the plant is closed, no other sections are of use because you are not making money. So that's where your financial management will be closely related with the production. These expenditures are decided now. These are all the terms. I don't want the PPT exactly to be read. So what you can read this through the PDF, which I'll send you all. So this highlights the role of production. So always remember, production will be the major player. If your production stops or production delays, your profit comes down. Then marketing. Yes, marketing now has become an core element of all the sections. Without marketing, any product cannot be sold. If you look at the television, we have marketing for an toffee, which is of 50 paisa, up to a car, which might be in lakhs together. So marketing becomes a key element. So produced products are sold in the market with innovative ideas and modern approaches. So marketing is required now for everything. Even now, sites such at locations like Belgaum also are appointing marketing managers for selling of the apartment flats or selling of the villas or selling of the bungalows. Initially, that was not the trend here in the tier 2 cities like Belgaum. And if you go in production line or some material line, again, marketing becomes very important. With mechanical, marketing is important. Similarly, with civil also now, marketing has gained very high level of importance. You can have a career in this field also, who are bold, who like to travel, who have good marketing skills, who have good communication skills. You will surely click in this marketing line because cement companies and all have such high competition. They require very good marketing people. Now see, events such as sports events like IPL and all, there are many construction companies are sponsoring. Initially, there was a title sponsor. Okay, DLF was the title sponsor. It is a civil engineering firm. We have various cement companies sponsoring. Chennai Super Kings is a team which is held by an cement company. Okay, so this is what all the things are marketing. Okay, marketing is a key role. Anyone who is street smart, anyone who can influence people can have a career in marketing through civil engineering. Then last point is your human resource. So human resource is that particular section which overall manages all the people who are working. They are responsible to allocate adequate finance to the marketing department. All those things happen in human resource. So human resource is a very important part wherein the number of employees working, what is the need, what are the different requirements of each and every other sections are studied. Fund allocation is recommended by your human resource department to the main accounts department. So these are all the scope of finances. So we have particularly 5 fields wherein you can relate the finance directly. It is economics, account, production, marketing, and human resource. So expect one question, discuss the scope of financial management. And here, if you are able to put up one civil engineering examples, that will be value added. Sometimes this question, once I think, in some odd paper, it has been asked for 20 marks. Writing this for 20 marks becomes very big. I'll sit for only 10 marks. So if in case it comes for 20 marks, then what you'll have to put? You'll have to put one example, small civil engineering related example with all these things. So in today's lecture, we have discussed about financial management. We have discussed about its scope, why is financial management required, and we try to understand these financial concepts because see other subjects when you all study, the things are very much similar or they go in a pattern. The words they have heard, but when we come to economics and finance subjects, things are new, and always learning a new thing is a career opportunity. So hopefully you have understood the things in today's lecture. If you want to put up any points, you can put the points, or else we can conclude the lecture. I request you all to give the attendance in the chat box. Once you give the attendance, you can leave. Thank you all for attending. Have a good day. Take care. Be safe. Thank you.